Hello everybody, BNEWS Reporter Chris Flaherty here, coming at you from the Weather Center. And as we're recording today, it is Groundhog Day. And as of 7 o'clock this morning, Punxsatwany Phil did see his shadow, which means 6 more weeks of winter. But what does that all mean? Where did Groundhog Day come from? Well, here to help me figure out the facts and fictions of this holiday is BNEWS Meteorologist Peter Brown. Peter, how you doing today?
Good, Chris. How are you? Good to see you again.
Thanks for stopping by.
My pleasure.
So, Bill Murray movies aside,
yes.
Where did this holiday come from?
Okay, well, that's a question that people have asked a lot. They're saying, it's such a strange holiday that we have. And apparently it began, as we can see here, back in 1887 is when the tradition began. And it was based on a Christian holiday called Candlemas.
Okay.
And this was a time when the clergy used to pass out candles to the people in local villages and everything.
Interesting.
And the length of the candle, we believe, determined the length of the winter again. And somehow, over time, the Germans actually developed a different way of looking at this, and they introduced the shadow of an animal, and it was actually a hedgehog in Central Europe at the time. And as those German immigrants came over to Pennsylvania, where a lot of them settled, especially in the area where Punxsatwany, the actual town, is, they actually did not have hedgehogs available, so they used a groundhog, which was the animal that was of choice there and looked very similar to it, and therefore we have the odd but very interesting tradition.
It's interesting how we went from a candle to a rodent, essentially.
Yes.
But, tradition's tradition, why break them? So, Punxsatwany Phil, he's been doing this for a long time. How accurate is this?
Well, this is the place where, unfortunately, if the groundhog could speak to me, he'd probably be not too happy. He's only been correct about 40% of the time since record keeping began.
Wow.
So it's not something great, but I'll tell you though, for a prediction that was based pretty much on the animal itself, that's actually not too bad when you think about it.
I mean, for an animal weatherman, that's not too bad.
Not bad at all. That's for sure.
I believe predicted 100 and something extended winters and about only 18 early springs.
Only 18 early springs, and I think like 100, like you said, 102 drawn out winters.
He's a real sore sport.
Yes, yeah. If you like tropical weather, Punxsatwany Phil is not your biggest fan. That's for sure.
And we're looking at the past couple of years, 2014, 2015, he predicted extended winters. Obviously, we know he was right in 2014.
Oh, yes, he was. That's for certain.
Oh, yeah. In 2016, he predicted an early spring.
Again,
are
he was
these
correct.
Accurate to what you predicted in those years? Or?
These were actually fairly on point, I'll tell you, especially what you mentioned about going into 2014, 2015. That certainly proved to be the truth. When he came out on February 2nd, that's of course here in the Burlington area, remember, when we were just starting to get buried with storm after storm after storm.
God, yes.
And then again, 2016, he was correct again. We had almost no snow the entire winter. So, I mean, he's been doing pretty well the past few years.
Yeah. Well, now let's talk about 2017. As we said this morning, he saw his shadow, 6 more weeks of winter. What does that mean for us going forward in a few months, and do you agree with Punxsatwany Phil's predictions?
All right. Well, this is where I'm definitely on the spot, and I have some. He'll be
the whole world is watching.
The whole world is watching, and they're seeing if I can outforecast the groundhog. Let's see. But I'll tell you basically what he said. So, of course, he saw his shadow again, which, of course, we've said he's seen a lot.
Right.
That's for sure. So he's predicting more winter-like patterns into the middle of March.
Okay.
And I like to tell people that it's interesting that he manages it. We're going to say that we have 6 more weeks of winter. We actually do have 6 more weeks of winter, because winter winter ends in the middle of March, and 6 weeks it will be the middle of March. So it's kind of interesting when they talk about that. Yeah. But looking ahead, I'll tell you, if the winter continues the way it does, I think his record is once again in jeopardy, and he'll be down below that 40% range of accuracy.
No, given the weather we've had so far this winter, I'm happy to have Phil wrong. It's been great.
Yeah, and it's interesting you should mention even about that is this winter has been almost exactly the same as last year. And when we look back at the signals back in December, it looks like we were going to have at least a normal winter with lots of snow. Now, of course, like we saw, if Phil is correct, we still have the entire month of February and some of March to go, and we could certainly make it up in that time.
And then to wrap up, we have another famous groundhog, Pardon Me Pete, from one of my favorite Christmas specials, Jack Frost, that's the company that does Rudolph and Santa Claus is coming to town and everything. Some little levity to this sad news of more winter.
I know, don't hate us, don't hate me and the groundhog, that's for sure.
Well, there you have it, folks. Don't put your shovels away just yet. We got 6 more weeks of winter coming. Peter, thanks for shedding some light on this holiday.
Hey, Chris, my pleasure. Glad that I could help you guys out.
Absolutely, great to see you. And we're going to send it back to the news desk.